G'day and welcome. I just wanted to do a quick video on coffee pot. The Benelli. This is mine, it's a stainless steel one. There's others out there that are aluminium. I prefer the stainless steel because it looks good. When you buy one, it's up to you what you want to buy. There's different sizes and there's lots of videos out there on how to use them. The instructions are pretty basic, but and there's lots of different videos out there that are different to the instructions. I've watched a few, I've copied a few, and they haven't worked out. But a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I've watched a couple and I've kind of blended the two together to make what I feel works for me. And I want to share that. So I'll also touch on what I feel that works for me in storing coffee, how this works when you what heat range you need. We'll get one going and I'll explain the pros and cons of what people say, and we'll go from there. So first of all, I'll pull it apart. So obviously there's your where you put your coffee in. This is your reservoir for where you put your water in, and here's your relief valve if you wish. So that's, you'll fill your water up either just below that valve. It's not recommended to go above. And I get about 2 cups out of that. Here in Australia would use 2 cups. So my first one's always good. My second one I probably wouldn't have straight after that. I'll probably have it reheated in the microwave at some point. Preferably because it's probably pretty good and it's a bit strong. So strong as in sense that it's strong in flavour and taste, but not like strong as in like an extra espresso or anything like that. And I find 2's enough to do the whole day. So anyway, I'll do the water. I prefer filtered water over tap water obviously, and then we'll go with the coffee and we'll get this going. So just be with me a sec. As you can see in there, it's just below the valve. So that's where we want it. When you put this in there, the water should come through, which it doesn't. If it does, it's probably just a bit too much in there. Now, as for coffee, I've seen people fill this right up. Well, maybe with ground coffee it's probably different. I don't have freshly ground coffee, so I don't know, I can't comment on that. It's this is ground coffee anyway, but it's not freshly ground coffee as like for a grinder. However, I tried that once and it was way too strong, so it's either that or it's piss weak coffee if you're going to use it fully ground up. So what I do is I do 2 of these, at least half. This is for me only half each side, and I know that's kind of roughly about right. Okay, I don't need to pack it down there or any of that bullshit. That's about right, and the aromas are good. This coffee I actually bought from Costco a few years back. Got about halfway through and I just tipped the rest out because it was crap. The coffee that's actually in there now is a nice coffee, so I kept the container thinking I'll reuse this container, use the coffee that's in there for what I'm using now, and it's working out well. I'll get this on and I'll talk about what I'm talking about and I'll explain what I'm doing. So let's get that happening. So it's a big container. It takes 250 gram packet quite nicely of the coffee I am actually using in there. Keeps the aroma and the flavour profile quite nicely. Let me go on to this. This has so many different languages, so you know it's sold around the world. So let's talk about this for a sec. Let's go over here. One that you can use on different stove or gas or stuff like that. So as you can hear it, you'll see it come out the top. Some people talk about leaving the lid open because it doesn't give it a burnt flavour. Some people talk about, it says in there, keeping the lid closed. It's up to you, you can try both. You can see it coming out the top there. Now the whole idea about a medium heat and not a high heat, if you have it on a high heat, this goes up to 9, I have it on 6. Now medium heat is so it creates the steam, slowly getting it on the heat rises, cooks through the coffee, creates the steam, pushes through, comes up. Now if you have it on a high heat, it's going to get on a high boil, pushes through quickly and comes up, so it's going to give you like a burnt flavour. If it's on too low, it takes too long, it tapes through and then it just comes through. So there's the differences between fast heating and slow heating and actually coming through. Now I had to take it off because I was on a phone call, so the brownness isn't coming through like it would, it normally would. So well, it's going to be a little bit different to normal, but anyway, it's the purpose of just showing you the principles of it. So I'm going to put it over there. Normally you can serve immediately. Now they talk of on some videos where if you're in a rush you can boil the kettle, pour it in there, put your coffee in, put it on the thing and then boil it, or half fill it with hot water and, you know, cold water, and boil it if you're in a rush, and away you go. Well, I have to say that's a load of bullshit too, because the principles of medium heat, as I explained, and bringing it to the process of medium heat and going through, and it's slowly bringing the steam and cooking through the coffee, and then getting it to pressure, and then actually bringing the taste and the aromas through. If you're doing it in a fast way, well, you're going to change the process of flavour and aroma, and you're going to end up with a burnt taste anyway. If you want to prove me wrong, give it a go. So with that aside, and now talking about storage of coffee, if you have coffee in the fridge, it's probably good for about 2 months if you're regularly using it, and you'll find that the aroma and the flavour profile is pretty good. If you can extract the air each time you open the container, whether it's a vacuum pack or burping the thing, that's a good thing. It'll probably last longer. I find if it's in a dark pantry, you'll find that the aroma and the flavours will go off quicker. If it's in an unopened packet, just stored in the pantry is fine. Until it's opened, it will be, as I said, completely different. So I can't speak for freshly ground coffee because I don't do it, but you know, with the lid open, closed, you know, there's pros and cons with that. Give that a go, it does make a difference. I think the heat factor is a big factor, and again, flavour profile is up to you. You got to find it yourself. That's probably the two key things. There's probably the heat and flavour profile, what you like. Everything else and how you fill your basket up is up to you as well. And that's just trial and error. Colour of the coffee, it smells great. What it smells like is what it tastes like too. That's what I like about coffee, this particular brand. There's a lot of coffee out there that smells nice but tastes nothing like what it smells like. Sometimes it tastes more flat or complete opposite really. Yeah, which is disappointing. And as you can see, with a little touch of milk, it hasn't darkened the coffee a great deal. It's not a bad colour. If I add a bit more coffee, it won't darken it too much either, like it would generally. So that's not too bad, and it would be lovely. There's a lot of coffee shops here at the moment, and they're everywhere. And years ago, people used to just have coffee at home and hit the road. Anyway, give it a go. Thanks for watching.